All right, hello, and welcome back to the Broken Business Models channel. I'm your host, James, and before we get into the video, just a quick disclaimer, nothing in this video should be taken as investing advice. I may have positions in any of the stocks we may mention in this video, and I reserve the right to change my positions at any time. So with that out of the way, let's get into today's video. And today we're going to be talking about Ginkgo Bioworks. So we have made multiple videos about Ginkgo in the past. As you can see, the company has obviously not done very well. They went public by merging with a SPAC all the way back in 2021, so kind of at the peak of the SPAC mania. But since then, their share price has declined by almost 98%. The reason that we're doing an update video about them today is because just last week on February 5th, they announced that they had this partnership with OpenAI. And on the day after they announced that partnership, their stock price increased by 21%. So by trying to jump onto the AI narrative and the AI bandwagon, this has, succeeded to pump their share price a little bit, at least in the short term. So we're going to be talking about, in today's video, we're going to be talking about this partnership that they have with OpenAI. And we're also going to look at a previous AI partnership that they previously announced with Google and try to see how that all stacks up. So on February 5th, Ginkgo Bioworks put out a press release saying the following. Ginkgo Bioworks autonomous laboratory driven by OpenAI's GPT-5 achieves 40% improvement over state-of-the-art scientific benchmark. So they claim they have this laboratory where they have all this kind of automated equipment to do various synthetic biology testing and stuff. And they integrated ChatGPT into it. So ChatGPT basically can control all of these scientific equipment that they have. And they did this to run some experiments, and they claim that they created some proteins or something at a 40% lower cost than it otherwise than was previously the case. And that is all thanks to the magical power of artificial intelligence. So while that all sounds very good, right? We have to look at Ginkgo's track record over the past few years and look at also their previous claims about artificial intelligence, which did not actually end up playing out as they probably wanted people to believe. So just quickly looking at Ginkgo's financial performance. So Ginkgo Bioworks is a contract research organization. So they do other companies, pharmaceutical companies and whatever, who are trying to develop new drugs or do some type of research for something. They will pay Ginkgo Bioworks to conduct synthetic biology research for them. Unfortunately for Ginkgo Bioworks, they're not very good at doing this research, which has resulted in dwindling revenue and massive operating losses. Now, as far as the company's cash burn, so Ginkgo Bioworks has always lost money and always burned cash. Back in 2023 and 2024, they were burning a huge amount of cash. They were burning more than $50 million per quarter. In some quarters, they would burn even more than $100 million. So in late June of 2024, Ginkgo announced that they were laying off 400 employees, which was, I think, more than 1/3 of their entire workforce. They also closed down some office buildings and stuff. So this was massive cost cuts that they did because they were burning too much cash. And that indeed helped them to reduce their burn rate. So now in the third quarter of 2025, they only burned $30 million. But this reduction in cash burn is not really caused by any fundamental improvement in Ginkgo's business. Their revenue and gross profit continue to decline. It's purely the result of these cost cuts. But this cost cut is, a one-time thing. They laid off so many employees. They laid off like 1/3 of their employees. At this point, there probably are not much costs left to be cut, and they're still losing money. So the situation is not looking good for them. Now they're trying to turn around the narrative by saying, oh, maybe we were losing money in the past, but now we're going to implement artificial intelligence with ChatGPT 5, and this is going to massively improve our performance and get us to profitability. However, we have to put this into context of the fact that Ginkgo Bioworks actually has a history of making big splashy AI announcements, which ended up resulting in almost nothing. So back in August of 2023, Ginkgo Bioworks put out this press release. Ginkgo Bioworks and Google Cloud partner to build a next generation AI platform for biological engineering and biosecurity. So they partnered with Google and they said that they're going to develop these advanced new artificial intelligence models. And that's going to allow them to massively improve their operations. So this here is from their earnings presentation for Q3 of 2023. So right after they announced this Google AI partnership. They said strategic partnership with Google Cloud is accelerating our AI efforts. AI models allow us to design better foundry experiments. So they say this Google AI is going to help them massively improve their operations. And in that same presentation from Q3 of 2023, they also included these slides, and they show these scientific looking pictures. And this one says, our enzyme engineering programs are becoming more predictable. And they say they got a 21 times increase in performance. And they have this other one. We are seeing remarkable results in the production of biological products under time and under budget. So that all looks very good, right? And they claim that they were able to get a 50 times increase in whatever performance metric they were measuring for this production of biological products. So they claim, we're improving rapidly. Our technology is improving very rapidly. We're implementing this Google AI, which is helping us to accelerate all of our advancements. That all sounds very good. But if we look at Ginkgo's actual financial performance and results, we can see that the Google AI partnership was a complete bust. So on this chart, we have Ginkgo's cell engineering revenue, as well as their operating cash flow. So Ginkgo, they have two revenue segments, cell engineering and biosecurity. I excluded biosecurity from here because biosecurity was basically just an opportunistic thing they did during COVID, where they did COVID testing. And then after COVID ended, the biosecurity segment dwindled to almost nothing. So the only segment that actually matters now is the cell engineering. And that's what they claimed, that they would have this massive improvement in their cell engineering thanks to this Google AI partnership. Well, this much hyped Google AI partnership was in the middle of 2023. So it's been 2.5 years. The revenue did increase a little bit in 2024, but then it decreased in 2025. And they continue to have huge losses. So their operating cash flow is still extremely negative. Now, as I explained earlier, their cash burn improved in 2025, but that's purely because of their massive layoffs, nothing to do with any benefit they're getting from this Google AI partnership. And Ginkgo Bioworks has a long history of overpromising and under-delivering. So if we go all the way back from their SPAC presentation, which was published in 2021, they claimed that as they scale their business and as they scale their technology, their operating costs for doing these synthetic biology operations are decreasing at a rate of 50% per year. They claim that since 2015, their costs were reducing at a rate of 50% per year, and they said that they would continue decreasing at 50% per year. That's what they said all the way back in their SPAC presentation. Well, obviously that has not played out, because if their costs if their per unit cost was actually decreasing at 50% a year, then they wouldn't still be losing so much money, 5 years later. Now they're saying, we have this partnership with OpenAI where we're using ChatGPT, and that's going to give us a 40% cost improvement. Well, they previously claimed that they had a 50% annual cost improvement, and that obviously did not play out. And they previously hyped up their AI partnership with Google, which was a complete flop, and their revenue has been actually declining in 2025, and they still have huge losses. So this company, Ginkgo Bioworks, is the epitome of overpromising and under-delivering, where they'll announce some big splashy thing and then claim that everything, that they're making these huge scientific breakthroughs, and they will include these charts in these graphics in their investor presentations, which shows, pictures of cells or whatever. It's like, oh wow, these guys must be smart. They can, use a microscope and take a picture of these cells. Well, and they have this chart showing 21x improvement, and they claim to have a partnership with Google AI, and now they claim to have a partnership with OpenAI. But despite all of their claims and all of their big announcements, the financial performance has been atrocious and has been getting worse. So, getting worse in terms of the revenue is declining. And then there's really no path for profitability for this company because they've already laid off a third of their workforce. They don't really have that many more employees that they can lay off. So the stock price has already declined by 98% since the company went public. The company is a complete failure and a complete bust. And I expect this company to never be successful and will probably eventually go bankrupt. So that wraps it up for everything we had to talk about Ginkgo Bioworks today. I really wanted to make this video just to show as an example, as companies make, you have a failing company that then makes some, AI announcement to pump the stock price. Well, you got to look at that company's track record and see if any of their announcements can actually be trusted. So as always, if you have any comments or opinions about Ginkgo Bioworks, please let us know in the comments section below, and we will see you all on the next video.